All right, what's going on, guys? I'm sorry I can't wait the full 20 seconds. Actually, I don't wait the full 20 seconds. What's going on, guys? I am the one, the only, the WOOKIE. We are a few misfits short this week because of reasons. Because what happens tomorrow, guys?
It's time for KFC Keyforge celebration.
Extra crispy original recipe. You don't go to work tomorrow.
You go to work?
I go to work tomorrow.
What?
I do.
For how long?
Because freaking Ewok made it so we don't leave until might as well be Friday. Going to work.
Ewok.
Are you really going to work tomorrow?
I'm really going to work tomorrow.
What do you mean? For how long?
Story.
For 4 hours.
Oh, okay. So you're going a half day.
Yes.
All right. Either way, I'm not going to work tomorrow because I have to get things ready because some of us have to be prepared for all the stuff that we need to bring to this event. Not just bring myself, my decks, show up and be good. Don't forget your blue snowball, by the way.
I don't even have to bring decks, man. I'm just the talent.
Oh, just whatever. But we have so many stuff and things to go over. We're gonna try to go over this quickly because we gotta all get some sleep because you have a 7 a.m. flight, Drazcore?
No, my flight's not till 11.
Oh, never mind.
But I do have to wake up at 7
to be ready by 11.
Well, so
He's got to be there by 9.
The airport that is 2 hours from me was much cheaper than the airport that's 40 minutes from me.
All right. Well, regardless of all that, we're going to try to get through this very, very quickly. We did get some new news from the Game Found. We got a quick. Is there anything? There's a couple of things I just wanted to touch on. Number one, we got to see what the decks are looking like right now. They're not packaged in their normal packaging. It looks like they are packaged in a box.
It says celebration on it. So it's cool. It's like it's a cool it does. You get a deck box for celebration for your deck. Totally didn't notice
that at all.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Does look a lot like the deck boxes that they have traditionally given us, the tuck boxes.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of cool to have. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, it's fine.
That celebration, I think it'll be cool.
Yep.
And then
original sale, $100 a piece, guys. No cards included.
And then originally, this blows my mind. Originally, on the bottom of all the Unchained decks, they were going to have a little thank you backer name note inside. Oh no, it was inside all the Winds of Exchange decks. I thought it was going to be just the backer decks.
No, it's Unchained. The Unchained decks, I think.
I thought it was going to be...
Wait.
Last week, we announced our plans to extend our appreciation to you, the campaign backers, by printing a thank you backer name note inside every Winds of Exchange deck. Alas, in response to this initiative, we received concern from a number of backers. Woof.
Bummer.
Good.
Me and Sheep will not be shredding your name. Sorry, everybody.
I have a Sharpie. Names can still be shredded. No worries.
You just invoke their name and shred the deck.
If you would like to be shredded in honor of Keyforge, you send me your name and I will write it on a deck when I go to shred it.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw there's a lot of people who were. I guess there's a lot of groups that did their backing together because of overseas shipping, and they're like, well, but only one name shows up. So there's some things with that, and then you get into those European privacy laws, and they can get kind of weird.
Yeah, I think because
I wanted to see my name on
common. Yeah, it's pretty common for these Kickstarters and these crowdfunding to put names on things, but it's always everyone that I've been a part of at least has been opt-in, right?
Yeah, typically there's like a button.
So
yes,
maybe they decided, they want to get the pledge manager out soon, so they were like, you know what, that's too much work.
Oh, and look who joined us. Sleeping Beauty himself, Z.
Z's just gonna listen while he's practicing Keyforge. See, he's a real player. No. We're just scrubs who like to talk.
Yeah,
I should practice.
Yeah.
All right, so let's carry on. So no names on decks. I think that's sad. I was really looking forward to getting decks with other people's names on. I saw a lot of people saying like,
I was
then I don't
really
get
looking forward to shredding Joe LaPasta's deck. Is he in here?
For certain. And I was totally looking for an X-ray deck. But so I could shred it and be like, I'm the real Smith. There are three
like
of us.
Highlander, there could only be one.
There are three of us. There are three Smiths on the same team. So
Who's the third? Oh, okay.
Z.
Z's a Smith too. I always forget about
Z's a
that.
Smith.
Are
Yes.
you guys like Highlanders? Like they're gonna only be one? Like what's going on here?
Yeah, we're all Clan Smith. That's right.
Okay.
Born at different times, but yeah. Okay, so a little sad that there's not going to be names. That's it. They're still working on the Pledge Manager update.
Yep.
Next
week.
That hasn't really impacted me. Like I can put my names in.
Yep.
I only need to put my names in a week before the Dex print, as far as I'm concerned. So whatever. But
I was actually kind of curious how, like, logistically, right? How they were going to put names on and then take names off. Are they just going to Sharpie them out? Like, because they have to have been printed already, right?
No, they're printing them now. That's what that picture is.
It explains that they've done the actual manufacturing can happen, right? So, all right, so hold on. It says in here somewhere, commercial production Wednesday exchange will commence
actual
late next
manufacture of
week.
Keyforge can happen once again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
No.
It says they can
provided all goes well.
week.
Yeah, next week.
Okay, but we gotta keep moving.
All right.
Pledge Manager update, so we can put our stuff in. Luxury play styles. You're gonna be able to buy your super fancy tokens through the Pledge Manager.
Really cool.
I wonder how close of a relationship they're gonna actually end up having.
I hope very.
That's interesting.
Luxury play styles is number one. They're amazing. Super nice tokens, super nice everything. But like that's one
super supportive of Keyforge.
Super supportive. So glad to see them getting on board. And then we got a picture of Keyforge Celebration and the 76 TVs it looks like they have set up. Or that could be a poster too, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I assume that was a poster.
I say poster.
Like
I gotta say, I mean, like, I hope this is just like the talking room because otherwise Keyforge Live was in a bigger room.
That's clearly the talking room.
Okay, that's where, because there's a stage. So that's where they're gonna tell us all the great Keyforge news. That's where our keynote's gonna be. All right, and then it says we got lots of Winds of Exchange details. So that's what was in the game found.
So we'll be going through the articles here shortly.
Yeah, because we got two of them since last time.
But I just wanted to say, because you're all here for the dirt, and I'm here to give it. So I was messaged today. Dirty dirt. I was here to message you today. That tomorrow there will be version 16.0 of the Keyforge Master Rulebook update.
Oh.
You mean Splash is going to work?
What do you mean? Why wouldn't it work before?
Because it didn't have any rules.
Whatever.
You're the only one that doesn't think it's going to work.
Dan's just like, unless it's in black and white, I don't acknowledge it.
That's right.
That's not Keyforge.
That's right. And this new house isn't mentioned anywhere. How do we know any of this is legit?
It just doesn't work for Dan. If Dan attacks with Splash Creature, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
That's okay.
I'm good with that.
In Rules 16.0, I actually saw it in there. It actually says does not work for Dan Smith, aka Dr. Sheep.
That's bad to have my generic name, guys.
Listen, I don't make the rules. I just follow them. So, you know. But that's all the news. You guys want to go through some spoilers?
That's why I showed up.
Yeah.
I kicked my friend out.
Z's got to get get out. Get out.
Like, get out of here.
I got to do the obligatory spoiler warning.
I mean, our whole show is about spoilers. So, if you didn't want to hear spoilers, you showed up to the wrong cast. It's pretty much all about spoilers today and a little drop on rules. So if you don't want to hear about spoilers, see you next week. Because it'll all be spoiled by then. Peace.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to live stream as much as I possibly can. I am obviously bringing a bunch of tech with me, so I will be able to live stream on YouTube. So make sure you're following us there. If you're listening to this, Archon's Corner over on the YouTube channel. That's where I'll be streaming everything because I don't like Twitch. Done.
Sure.
Let's get into the first set, the Aquilia Loneheart. He is a 6-power dinosaur soldier from Saurian. He also has an armor, or she. Omni, capture 1, Ember, if there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures. I know what Z thinks about this one.
It's not great. Like this whole set, like in set play, this might be fine because like woe versus woe, right? Like this is Omni ability. Omni's nice. There's a real good chance 50-50, like they're gonna have more creatures than you at any given time. So the Omni's gonna fire, then you play your creatures or make your tokens or whatever. Out of set play, like you should always have more creatures than your opponent, or your deck probably sucks real bad. Like
maybe.
So
still have no clue how many tokens we're gonna produce.
I think we have a real big clue because we're going through all of the commons ones by the drop today and this one.
Yeah, what is this, Monday and today, I believe?
Yeah. So that's all of their. Here are the common face of the set, and we have enough information now to solidly know that if it's a competitive deck, they're making a lot of tokens, which is what our worry was. So that has been addressed and answered from what we already know. But like in this case, I think this creature is real bad in everything except for sealed. In sealed, it's a big body, it's got armor, you're gonna get to reap with it, and I think you will actually fire this Omni several times a game. So in sealed, this is probably like on the upper end of cards you want to see at common. Outside of sealed, very bad.
But what about Ballistego?
I do like the art, by the way.
So we go from bad to how can it get much worse?
Yeah. I mean, he looks badass.
He does look really, really cool.
He is a 5-power dinosaur soldier. Play. You may exalt him. While Ballistego has Ember on it, it gains splash attack 3.
Which, according to Sheep, doesn't work anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't work. So
this is correct.
If your last name is Smith, it doesn't work.
Am I wrong in saying though I would actually like almost rather the Dino ability on the like mutants in MM? Like I kind of like the Exalt for 3 damage that's targeted way more than this.
Yeah, that's better. That's instant.
Oh my god! Like
this is slow, and it's gonna die. We still don't know if we have Ludo. We don't know if we have Scudam. We don't know what we have.
But the most insulting thing about this, didn't we just get like Mega Calfine without a penalty?
Yeah,
that's just empirically better than this in every possible way.
Maybe
on the other spoiler page.
Maybe you don't know that.
It's like a 7. And this okay, fine. The splash I think is 2 on that card. So
it would have been better if it had skirmish.
But there's totally going to be good ways to use Amber on your dinosaurs this set.
Is there?
What if you need to kill 3 cards real quick?
But
I don't know, man.
This, like I did not like Akelia. I think it's fine in sealed though. So there's a positive there. There's going to be a lot of sealed play in WoW because I think it's going to be a fantastic set to play in. But hey, we're going to be playing Sealed Alliance. You're probably just not going to pick Sorin anyway. So who knows? Anyway, next one.
Next one is Grammaticus Thrax, 5-power dinosaur philosopher, enhanced with 2 capture, 1 damage.
Go ahead, Dan. I'll let you have this one.
It's got 2 capture and a damage, and it's 5 power. It seems fine as long as Ludo exists.
Which it probably doesn't.
Or maybe there'll be that card over in Sanctum that lets you steal. What's his name?
Oh, the
Scrivener Fabian.
Scrivener Fabian. Like there could be cards that could make this good that you're not likely or guaranteed to have.
We already spoiled Castiel the Benevolent, the Sanctum version of this, right? Like that one was 2 capture, 1 amber. 1 amber on any card. We talked about this years now. Like amber on cards is good. That one was a 2/2. We compared it to a Squire Alice with a pip. That's good. This is not the same thing. This is just a 5-power generic creature that has capture 2 and a damage. Like the damage being here in place of the amber is a big difference.
Or a draw pip.
I, however, will go on the side that you're probably going to get to reap with this dude. It's 5. It's very frustrating to kill. Like just like in Coda days when you landed your 5-power terror, you're probably going to get to reap with that because they don't care what it does after the fact. This is a completely average Keyforge card, which makes it better than both of the 2 cards we just saw.
All right, let's move into Recruit, which is a Saurian action. Play, make a token creature. If you exalted a friendly creature this turn, archive Recruit.
I feel like this is maybe the worst version that we've seen so far of this, or that we've talked about. I guess maybe you have a little more control over this, but I don't actually know that.
I mean, this says play, make a token creature.
Yeah, I guess it depends on which token creature you have, but I'm not excited about this.
You're going to have 3 copies of Ballistico in your deck too, so no problems here. You can make them a nice Amber Bank, so you can have a questionable
I was going to say, if I
creature.
play Ballistico, do I exalt Ballistico? I mean, it doesn't seem worth it.
If you
depends on if you have a Saurian token creature or not.
Right? I don't know. This was another one that super frustrated me. Like, some of my team is kind of down on like this mechanic in the game because like we've seen one for all of them at common. I'm actually super pumped about this. Like we talked about in the last spoiler. I like the idea of getting 2 to 4 of these in a deck and then just being able to live in that house. The token matches this card, and just kind of doing that thing and like making them answer what you're doing, or you're just going to keep doing it for the rest of the game. It forces, it creates a win con in itself if you can get the right scenarios, right? This is the one that's like really hard to do that repetitively. On top of that, like Cheap joked about, we haven't seen anything to do with Exalted Amber in the set as far as I know. We're about to see one, I know, but as of yet, like, I'm not seeing Ludo. I'm not seeing Imperial Forge that I know of.
No Scudam.
As far as
that we know.
Maybe,
yeah, we have Scudam didn't survive set like the first breakout of Nerf. So
this is true.
As we said in Worlds Collide, though, there was a little too much ability to deal with all the Exalted Amber that it made it not that risky, and good decks could deal with it. I think
that's because we saw both things. We saw Ward come out en masse, and we saw using Exalt en masse. If it was literally either or, it would not have been an issue.
You also saw things like Six Semper. You also saw things like Exile. You had way too many ways to deal. Like, you could just be like, oh, I'm going to put a pile of Ember on this creature, and then you have it. Or I'm just going to take it all and put it in my pool because reasons. Like, let's face it, Worlds Collide Saurian was absolutely busted and probably shouldn't have existed.
I don't know if I agree. Like, people say that all the time.
You only say that you don't agree because you have a busted Six Semper deck.
No, I don't. My deck doesn't have Six Semper, and it's never won anything. There's only been, one Worlds Collide winning deck, and it didn't have Saurian.
Well, to be fair, they were only in one. They were only in one vault tour before we all went into hiding.
We've had other competitions. Yeah. Like, we've had other really big premier events.
All right, it's definitely real good. Top level Saurian. I wouldn't put it in busted. I don't.
The one that won live did have Saurian, but it was MM, and if Saurian stucks in MM, it would just happen to be there.
Yeah. Let's move into Symposium, which is a Saurian action play. Exalt ready and use a friendly creature. If it is a token creature, you may exalt ready and use another friendly creature.
Amber banking.
Ember.
If there is a way to Ludo all your Ember off, maybe this will feel okay. I mean, this is still, it's quite the rush. We actually haven't seen enough super power reap effects to get excited about this, right? We haven't seen a Philosophosaurus, haven't seen something even like a Senator Shriek style card. Like, if it's just a generic creature and it reaps, it's gonna be a little sad,
slow, and
but I think like house cheat, like it's in an Archon deck, exalting ready and use house cheating, that's worth it. You have the option here to do a token creature first, and that your token creature might be valuable there to do it. So I like this one.
I actually like this is above average card. Like, as far as the way Keyforge works,
it's an above average card in a below average house.
Yes.
So is it still
if we saw this Yes, it's still an above average card because we're talking about an isolation. If we saw this card literally in any other house, we would actually be happy about it, even about the Exalt. So I think in synopsis of what its value is doesn't change there. From hand, you're at minimum getting 2 amber that is in furnace proof because this is a reap amber. It says use, so you can even fight because like there are scenarios where you want to fight with your Brobnar dudes or whatever. With your Brick Nasties online. So there's a lot of value in this card. This is a good card.
All right.
And it's at common.
It is, and it's kind of a combo piece-ish with the next card we're about to talk about. Epic Poem, play, exalt a friendly creature, gain 1 ember for each ember on that creature.
Yay!
This seems promising.
A good card.
Yeah, this seems promising to me.
A lot of amber pump here. A lot, right?
Which clearly GG listened to our Valentine's Day episode.
That's the whole reason?
Yeah.
This is another thing that gains amber around in Furnace.
We made Keyforge haikus.
This is true. Right. If it said love poem, I'd extra agree with you. Epic poem's pretty good too, though.
But again, like I'm still with what we said earlier. If we don't have a way to either destroy all the amber, exile them across the field, well, there has to be something in this set that the dinos can do with all of this amber they're exalting, or it's going to be potentially like Worlds Collide Brobnar bad. Because right now we have a lot of cards that are at best generating a decent amount of amber at the cost of exalting. And what we're not seeing so far is Ward, Six Emperor, Exile, Ludo, Brachus, Senator tricks. Like we're not seeing any of these things like that Worlds Collide version of this did. And we've seen 2 sets back to back where the Saurians, when you pulled them, like they were not making Archon decks. They, at best, like I guess in Sealed, that Crushing Surge card was actually a really good play in Dark Tidings Sealed. I did play a lot of Dark Tidings Sealed, so like I did a lot of work with that card. So that was good. But outside of that, it's just I'm gonna play a bunch of dudes that mostly don't do anything and reap. So we'll see.
Should we go from bad to worse?
I don't agree with that. But
we're going into the fish house.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So we got Covetous Hema. It is a 3-power Aquin. When Covetous Hema is not on a flank, it gains elusive. Play, capture 3.
Someone on team pointed out that was old Bruno so OP?
Yeah,
you had to give a conditional elusive.
Right. So it is worse, old Bruno. Capture 3 is decent.
Isn't everything in fish always like contingent on something?
Mostly.
Yeah, it always is. I don't know. I think this card's fine. Bare minimum, it stalls a turn.
I mean, old Bruto was pretty much completely average as a card. Even with the condition, this is basically the same. It is a very average card, which makes it better than most of the Saurian cards. That's
fair enough. Kamalani, 4-power Aquin, destroyed, make 2 token creatures.
It's uncommon. There's lots of ways to destroy your creatures in the set. I like this card a lot.
Did you read the little blurbit they put next to it?
No.
With Cultist, previously revealed Cultist token creature could greatly benefit from this ability.
I mean, it could.
So bad,
right? I mean, that's probably not. You're not hoping for a Cultist, but
no. If I have
you have a Cultist
token, that deck's going in the trash. going to the shredder bin.
The shredder bin. I mean, but destroyed, make 2 creatures. I like it. It's fine.
No, I like this card.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good. Like, you do board wipe, you have a bunch of these guys out, you wipe their big board, and suddenly you got a whole mess of tokens. Like, I like it.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm thinking now. So, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about destroyed triggers and, like, some sort of flow chart. So, like, I destroy it, then they come in? Or, like, do we still destroy...
Play a board wipe, you mark everything for destroyed. Destroyed triggers trigger. The tokens that are made are now immune from the board wipe that was already played.
Because they're not marked for destruction from the previously played card?
Yep.
Right.
Yes. Okay. Everything gets marked simultaneously and then resolve as needed.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The next card, people were talking about a lot.
What, Kelp Minder?
Yeah. Got to mind the kelp every day.
5
The art's
power
fun, too.
Aquian enhance capture draw. I do like the art. That was the first thing I saw, and I couldn't decide if this was Green Acres or the other one.
That's the famous
the
painting,
painting,
which I should know, but I don't. But it's a famous painting.
I can't
the
remember
farmer's
what it is.
pitchfork.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
We're very cultured.
Very
There's
cultured.
no way I would ever know what y'all are talking about right now. But Infomancer, right, like, was good. Everyone pretty much agrees with that for the most part. Maybe not cheap.
No,
here
Infomancer was pretty good.
Yeah, and this is Infomancer plus 1 power, and you get a capture somewhere in your deck. So this is just flat out amazing. Like if Infomancer is good, this is great. So that's where we're at.
It was called American Gothic, for those of you who are wondering.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, just straight up great card. Really, really happy with these 3 enhanced dudes in every
everyone but Saurian.
I mean, even that, like, there's still some alliance value there, right? Like, if there's 5 of these Grammaticus dudes in Saurian and none of the enhancements hit Saurian, that's still a bunch of freaking capture in your deck somewhere.
Hopefully.
And you don't have to play Saurian in Alliance.
This is true. You're talking Sealed Alliance. I guess
Any
both Alliance works.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, these, because they are at common, right? Like, we have one of these guys at common in every house. Because that existing, there are going to be some outrageously pipped decks out there. And those are going to be generating very, very fun, effective Alliance decks in the set.
All right.
We'll see.
Let's go into Initiation. Play, it is an Aquian action, or I'm sorry, a fish action. Play, make a token creature. If you have fewer than 4 cards in your hand, archive Initiation.
This seems really likely to archive the first time you play it. But becomes very hard to archive repeat housing.
So this is the first one I would want like only 1 or 2 of versus the strategy we talked about earlier, like we can spiral out of control where you want 3 or 4 of. Because like as you get more and more of them and you pull your archive going back to the house, you'll just have more cards in your hand. So it's less and less likely to hit 4 or fewer. So if I want a competitive deck with this card, I probably don't want more than 1. And you're just hoping it gets a pip on it or something.
I like this one better than the Saurian one, for sure. I think, unless you have a whole bunch, it's much more likely to fire. And it's going to fire in situations that are beneficial for you, right? So,
right.
Yeah. I think the Saurian one by far is like the worst one. But the only other one that I don't like is the one where it only fires if you have less creatures in them, because of what I just talked about earlier. Like, if you have less creatures in them, you're probably just losing.
You're already behind. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is probably like 3rd from the bottom, depending on what type of deck you're building. If you're building a like not wanting to stay in the fish, well, yeah, because Alliance exists, right? If you're going for a strategy that does not require like not wanting to stay in the fish house constantly, this is a pretty decent card for this house.
Let's get into some cards with pips on them.
Yay!
At common. We like cards with pips at common. Abyssal Sight. It does have a pip of Ember. It is an action. Play. Destroy a friendly creature. If you do, look at your opponent's hand and choose a card from it. That player discards that card. Possibly a very good card, depending on your token, I think.
We've seen... Well, we've already just saw a common that it combos directly with. We just read Kamalani, which is destroy, make 2 token creatures. I think there's going to be a handful of decent cards you want to destroy that have destroy effects across the set. And this is a really good effect. Like, Brain Drain was sometimes frustrating, like especially against like MM. You look at your hand, 2 of the cards have draw pips. It effectively does nothing, right? Like, you can choose a card, they're just going to draw it back. So this, however, like the straight up, hey, I'm discarding your Team TP, I'm discarding your Scramble Storm, like I'm discarding your Kichi, whatever, is very, very good. I think
this has a possibility for being a very good Alliance card.
This is a straight up good period, right? Like,
well, it's good, but I'm saying even with Alliance on the horizon and the meta being completely undefined as of right now.
And Alliance
the ability
being like combo.
The ability to get information, like information is like so big, and I think a lot of people, Keyforge information is big, but it's not as big as in like some games. Like looking at your opponent's hand in Magic is like huge, right?
Yeah.
It is a big deal to gather all that information. Now, I don't know if that's why they've taken away the note taking, whatever, so on and so forth. So you don't just have to remember what's in your opponent's hand. You can write it down. Not sure. However, the fact of the matter is being able to like look at their hand and be like, that's where they're headed next. And then not only that, being able to go, no, and then discarding something from it is pretty big.
Yep. This card is absolutely huge at common. Like, like we talked about using cards as key cheats, like forcing your Scrambler Storm to be a key cheat if you know what their A is, like using Control the Weak to go to a house that can't stop you by memory, becoming a key cheat. Like this is just easy mode of all of those things we've discussed for years. Like you play it, you look at their hand. Oh, they don't have archive. You know whether you could push or not right there, right then. Like to the point where like this can be game winning. Like did you just remove the one thing that their stop is, or what combination can win them the game? Like, oh, you had a key cheat.
Got a good card. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is by far the best card we've seen him get.
Yay for Fish. Let's move into Crushing Deep. It also has a Pip of Ember on it. Yay for Pips of Ember. During your opponent, it is an action play during your opponent's next turn. Keys cost +3 for each forged key they have.
This is basically late game Miasma. Miasma was a completely okay card, so this is an okay card.
Miasma was an okay card?
Yeah. It was only good because it was combined with certain cards in certain decks. Every deck that it wasn't combined with those cards, it was just okay. We haven't seen any of those. Like, we have not seen anything that is graph. We have not seen anything that's DMTP. So without those, Miasma was at best okay.
I thought Miasma was above average. Still think Miasma's above average.
I mean, I was happy to see it, right?
But that's the thing, like,
blow your socks off.
Well, but when you break it down, like, if there's one Miasma in your deck, half of the time you're gonna draw it early.
Yeah,
that's just the way Keyforge is, and it's just a pip. It doesn't do anything then, just like this. And then late, yes, you delay them once. Like there are certain decks that implemented those kinds of cards superbly, and we have not seen the companion cards to do that in this set yet. If they exist and they're out there, that will be having a different conversation once we know full information. As of right now, this is an average card to me.
Information on average comes on Friday.
It's an Evil Eye, which I think is not great.
It's an Evil Eye leader.
It's a little better than an Evil Eye overall, I think. But if you get it mid-game, it's an Evil Eye, right?
Yeah. Well, but even Evil Eye can make their first key cost 9.
It's true.
Which is its full value. Like, best value from Evil Eye is actually making them spend 9.
That is true. Should we move into Starlines?
Do it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any no's. Okay. So we got Specialist Guthrak. He's a 3-power alien Handahan. I have no idea what that is or what that means, but I'm sure we'll find out.
He's not the first one.
I know he's not the first one, but I still don't know what that means. He has Skirmish, after fight / after reap. Capture 1 for each house represented among Specialist Guthrak and its neighbors. I said that right. I feel like I read that wrong.
Yeah.
Capture 1 ember for each house represented among Specialist Guthrak and its neighbors.
So it can capture 1, 2, or 3.
Yes.
Right. Like, that's what it does.
Bare minimum, he's a 1. Capture up to 3.
All right. I mean, it has the versatility.
He's got to survive.
How often are you gonna capture 3 truly?
I like that it's on Reap. I mean, this is basically what, weaker Sequus ish.
Weaker from power armor, but more potentially from a.
Well, but when you're talking about capture creatures, it's like they want, like, your opponent wants to kill them, so their power and armor are very significant.
And we haven't seen a ton of ways to protect your peoples.
No words.
It's true.
No, I was even talking about
taunt.
Even
taunt.
Taunt.
Like taunt,
Except for Sanctum,
not a lot of taunt.
which you don't want.
There's a taunty token.
There is a taunty token. Say that 5 times. Average to below average.
Below average.
Below average. I was gonna give him maybe average. Sealed.
I'm going below average because it's low power. There's a lot of stuff that kills 3s. No armor at all.
Skirmish with a flight effect. That's never bad.
He's not even elusive.
No.
I think it almost needed elusive instead of skirmish here to make me move it to average. Like elusive with just the reap would have been fine.
Yeah, it would have been better. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
CPO Zytar 4-power alien Proximan scientist. Enhance 1 pip of damage and 2 draw icons. I'm sorry, he has an armor too. I didn't mention that. He does have an armor.
Yeah. Which I still don't know where this armor is, Sheep. Like what?
It's on the ground.
I pulled up.
Look at all the things around him.
CPO Zytar is a lady, I think.
It is.
And it's the undergarment.
You would have to ask them how they
undergarment. Maybe it's the
because as you pointed out, their leader also has the armor.
Yeah. Like I pulled up a picture of Albade the Grim in one of our chats, who is also exactly the same power and armor, 4 power, 1 armor, and that dude is decked out with armor from head to toe, and he got his one armor rating. Whereas this person of unknown gender is an engineer, effectively. It even has a text about I'll get the configuration right of one of these times, so it's building something, and it has the same stats as Albade the Grim. Decked out in full knightly armor.
I'm telling you, the armor's all on the ground. Look at all the stuff that it's constructing it.
It has made me take another look at like what the power and armors of some of these cards are based on the armor. But anyway,
why are you looking at art? What show are you on?
I know, like that's
yeah. What happened to these cards?
Last week, somebody told me there was art, and I've been looking at all these pictures now. So there's all right. So this card's fantastic, right? It's another Infomancer Plus. It is 1 armor on top of Infomancer from invisible layer of armor, and it has a damage pip somewhere in your deck. So it's just again just a straight up across the board improvement over an already good card. So this is a great card because it's actually with this armor, there's actually a much higher chance that we'll reap as far as how the way we're seeing damage get dealt in the game.
All right, let's go to Friendly Guide, who might be my new favorite card. It's not. I like it, but it don't.
You like the flavor.
When I look at it, I'm like, oh, it's Goro, but with 3 heads and beards. Wait a minute, it's not Goro at all. 3 power, alien, elusive. After you use one of Friendly Guide's neighbors, you may use Friendly Guide.
Goes real well with that Omni Dinosaur.
A little bit of house cheaty. A little bit.
And what is it now? Researcher?
Yes.
The Omni token?
Yes, I believe Researcher.
Yeah.
But we would all rather have a Teresa?
Yes. But I mean,
this is a common card. Teresa was rare?
Uncommon, maybe?
No.
Uncommon, I think.
Wait, Rocketeer Teresa was common.
Not Rocketeer Triska.
No. I'm talking about the dinosaur.
That's Triska.
They're talking about the upgrade.
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean I'm playing DT? No, I would not rather have that. I think it's okay. That's all I'll say. It's okay.
I think so too. I think the value here is potentially related to upgrades, right? Like it's Star Alliance. We haven't seen that many upgrades yet.
I think this highly depends on what your token is, honestly. But
yeah, that could be too. Yep. A non-Star Alliance token makes this better.
Yes, you do not want a Star Alliance token here. You definitely want an off-house token. And if you have Researcher, that's much better. But other than that, I do like that it's elusive. You probably are going to get 1 amber out of this creature more often than any other 3 power generic creature. So as far as that goes, it is definitely basically a pip. In most cases.
Fair enough.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we've not seen that many upgrades. We have seen the Echo Reflector. Creature gains your opponent's keys cost +3. That's not a reap effect, actually. That's just a static effect. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's not much here, actually.
No.
So we don't know.
Let's move into recorded history. Again, another common with a Pip of Ember. We all rejoice. Play reveal up to 3 cards of different houses from your hand. Archive each card revealed this way.
So this is just a better lab work.
Yeah.
Is it better even though you're going to have a dirty archive?
Well, it's your choice.
Yeah, like I forgot to correct them in the chat, but one of our teammates was like saying that very similar to what you were just saying, Wookie, and I was like, it's up to.
Yeah, I didn't totally
at minimum lab work. At minimum.
There is actually a situation where this is sort of better than lab work.
Turn 1.
Or you have 2 of these darn things and one archives the other when you have a full hand, and it's technically better there too, technically.
I think this is pretty good on turn 1.
Yeah.
Even though it's pretty good all the time.
Yeah. Well, but we all will also like to talk about, like, when we're doing matchups or whatever, like, what are the high value turn 1 cards? If you have this on the play, especially if you mold into it, when you're on the play, have 6 cards in the hand, like, you play this, you archive 3 cards on turn 1, then you get to draw, 4? That's pretty good tempo coming out of the gate, even if your archives are muddy, and that's fine to a point because there's other cards in here that are going to do that anyway. I kind of like this. I like this a lot.
This is a great way to dig for stuff, right? Like archive stuff you don't care about even. It could be a good thing here as well.
What are we digging for? I mean, I get your point of digging, but like, where's the combo in this set?
Well, we'll see them on the rares and uncommons later.
Yeah, or when we look at Mars a little later.
Yeah.
This card is just really good. All I'm saying is, where was this when we had Archivist in set?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, such a set.
Let's move into teamwork. It's Star Alliance action card play. Make a token creature. Z already spoiled the rest. If there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures, archive teamwork.
I forgot it was one of the ones.
Thanks for spoiling it, Z.
This one,
freaking spoiled our spoilers.
I hate this one. This is probably my least favorite. And it's not actually the one that, like, I think Exalt is technically worse than this if we have no reason to, like, do that. Like, this one, though, if you're not playing, like outside of Woe Sealed or whatever, it's like, this is just, you fire it once, it's gone. Like, that's it. It has no pip, has no enhancements. This is make a token creature from hand, no pip. That's all this is. Like, this is real bad.
Well, you had to be down by 2 creatures when you play this card in order.
You
for
make one when you play it. It's real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not great.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I almost want to say like the value of this card is determined by your token. But even then, it's basically reads make a token again.
Yeah.
In some real bad scenarios, it reads make a token, then archive it, but you're probably already lost.
Unless it's real early or whatever. Like, but again, I think the coolest aspect, because we've seen 7 of these, and I think the most fun idea behind these is if you get 2 to 4 of them, there's a chance that you just spiral out of control.
Make a token.
Yeah, every turn you go back.
Have 2 to 4 teamworks. Maybe reversal is a thing.
Yeah, like reversal low, 2 to 4 teamworks. There you go. Because that's gonna suck real bad. Because they don't enhance. They have no pips. Like this, like this could actually end up.
I mean, there is a decent amount of enhancement in the set. I mean, at least every house has one.
But that's moot. That's true about all of the ones that are actually able to archive themselves.
Yeah, right. So this one's really sad when you get pips on it because you're unlikely to archive it.
Yeah, that's true.
Less likely to archive.
I'm trying here. I'm working.
Yeah, you don't want the pips here.
I'm trying my hardest.
Well, I say we talk about Rogue Operation because there is no teamwork.
I agree. I like Rogue Operation merely because I don't think we've ever have we ever seen Steel and Starlance?
Yes.
Yeah,
Kin-Can?
Yorg.
Kin-Can, Garcia's Blaster,
Oh,
Yorg.
Yeah. I forgot about those fringe cases.
Yeah.
There's
Those
that
commons?
one power,
Okay.
not very good
Oh, the Thief?
Shadows Rogue. Yep.
Oh, fingers. Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, play it. Discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Steal 1 for each house represented among cards discarded. So, what? Bare minimum, this reads play steal 1?
Bare minimum.
I think what I was talking to sub in the chat is 70% of the time it steals 2.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And there's a lot of ability to peek and a little bit of ability to manipulate in the set so far. So this seems okay. Like there was a few cards like this in Dark Tidings where they gave you options, but you always ended up just using the play 1, steal 1 effect. And that's, wasn't that like at one point, one of our if it isn't better than play 1, steal 1, it's not or play steal 1, it's not a very good card.
It's obviously better than Bait and Switch, the revised version of Bait and Switch.
It always works.
Because it always works. It always steals at least 1. 70% of the time you're stealing 2.
On a Bait and Switch. Hey, I got a question. Where were... Stop it. Where were the erratas for cards? All those were in the rulebook, right?
No, those were definitely in the tournament rule thing.
Which no longer exists.
No, you're right. They're at the back of the rule book.
Are they at the back of the rule book?
Yeah, they're at the back of the rule book.
The tournament
They're an Archon Arcana.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
the very official.
They don't write the rules, so technically, Bait and Switch isn't errata right now. Yet.
We don't even... Yeah, all right, next.
Yet. Don't
I'm with you, and I support that, but
Lands, here we come.
That's right. Technically, library access... Oh, wait, no, the whole card... Well,
dude,
the card was errata. But it was reprinted with the errata 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, it is errata. All right, Mix the Tall-Minded. We're into Mars now.
Ooh,
all right, Mix the Tall-Minded.
Great picture.
Is a 5-power Martian. This is the house that matters right here. Your opponent's key cost +1 for each friendly Mars creature in play. I like Mix.
Oh, yeah. This is good.
Which one of those 3 Martians is the 1-power Martian?
Definitely the one at the top. With the spiky
bottom
teeth.
One's a grunt token. The middle one is, I don't know.
Oh, maybe that's Mix.
Marauder, the top one's a rebel.
Oh.
Or whatever they're called now.
Wait, so is this really like Pokemon? Like if I stack them all together, I get Mix the Tall-Minded?
Well, together we're as tall as any elder. So
hold on. If I get all 3 on the table at the same time, can I go into my extra deck and play Mix the Tall-Minded?
Yes.
I feel like that joke went well over everyone's head.
I'm not really a Pokemon.
That's you.
Yeah, this sounds more like some Exodia bullcrap, and we definitely don't talk about that.
This creature in Mars is amazing, though.
I love it.
Common.
This is
screw the Blorb plushie. I want a Mix plushie.
Can we even say what this does? Your opponent's keys cost +1 for each friendly Mars creature in play. That includes tokens, so you're really
hoping... It's a better Grump Buggy. Who doesn't love this?
No, it's not a better Grump Buggy.
It's definitely a better Grump Buggy.
It's a better Faust, is what it is.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, it's also like the other Amber Control guy from AOA who went plus for neighbors. It's that kind of thing.
Nobody knows anything about AOA here, Sheep. We only play good sets.
He's talking about Nizik.
We only play good sets here, Sheep.
You just played AOA the other day. Shush your mouth.
I was forced to, against my will.
Forced. So yeah, this is good. I actually I saw some chat about this going well, does this just end up being one of those cards where you make your opponent's keys so high they kill it, then forge for 6 anyways? I think smart players will actually not play as many Mars creatures as they possibly could sometimes just to force a high key cost. Like if you spike to 10, I don't play a 5th Mars creature. I go, 4 is just fine. Go ahead and have that 10 cost key.
Yeah, I like the power you have here. Because what you were just describing is what Faust does. You land your dudes, you amber them all up, and you end up with a super high cost. They don't forge, and eventually they kill Faust. They forge at 6. Here, because you don't have that penalty because they've like before, if you had Faust out there, like if you killed your people, they get the Exalted or Captured Amber back, and that sucks. In this scenario, if you go into Mars, you can slam your people into things. Like you can control fully the number of creatures in play, and you can force them to forge at 8, 9, 10, 11. Like it's a very, very good card in my opinion. Lots of player choice as far
Even
as
landing,
how this affects the game.
Being it's an uncommon card, or it's a common card.
Yep.
Uncommon. 2 of them is just like +4 cost.
Yeah.
Like this is in lines with you're gonna see Eddie style expense off of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what we're talking about
things we're playing
earlier, if we do see a way to like punish big amber gains in any kind of way other than the like bait and switch thing that gives them a billion cards, this could get real good.
Well, let's move into a guy that kind of combos off of him, depending on your token. Ironix Vatminder. 3 power, 1 armor, Archon, Ironix. Play / destroyed. Make a token creature.
Yay.
Love him.
So I like this better than the destroyed get 2. You play, you get 1, destroyed, get another. Like this seems
like a contractor. You get half up front and half at the end.
Yeah.
I like this card for what it is.
I love him.
I like that he combos with like the way the board wipes work too. Like, like we talked about earlier, if you board wipe in this scenario, you're still making a token that is not going to die from the board wipe.
Yeah.
I need to know who made Mars in this set, because whoever did it did a much better job than whoever made Mars in Coda and AOA. Like I feel like Mars and Coda and AOA was like all or nothing, right? You either got the battle fleet key abduction.
we don't know how this set plays yet.
Have you seen any cards in Mars that were like, you have Mars, you now just suck because reasons?
Yeah, we're about to get it.
What?
I don't know. I don't think I've seen an empirically bad Mars card.
Are you talking about Glilix, the weaponsmith, the 4 power, 1 armor Martian artisan who enhances with 2 damage and a draw pip?
Yeah, he's the one who doesn't do a lot for me personally.
You hate pips.
No, especially like after seeing the number, there are some 1 power creatures on tokens, but there's a lot of them that are more than 1 power.
And the enhanced, this is probably one of the worst.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that.
2
but anyway,
damage and 1 draw.
It has a draw pip. Just having the draw pip is significant.
Yeah, but did you want a 4 power 1 creature with a drop pip?
I think you are missing. Okay, let's say it was Infomorph, and you wanted. If I said I'm going to give you 1 armor and take away 1 of your draw pips and give you 2 damage pips, how would you not say it's at least equivalent to that?
Because I would say I'd rather have Infomorph.
But why?
Because an armor and a.
I mean,
think about what
a draw pip.
Process through what you're about to say.
a draw pip, I think, is often worth more than 2 damage and 1 armor.
I don't think so. I think like 1 armor in this game on any creature, especially if it has over 2 power, drastically increases the chance you're going to reap with it. We've done the damage scenarios a lot.
This is true.
There's a lot of cards that do 3 damage. He probably gets the reap. And instead of the draw, so like that's an amber already there. And then as long as you're not playing, like there's actually a lot of creatures that are big in this specific set, but against other sets, like specifically Coda, AOA, and even MM, because there's tons of 2 power creatures. 2 damage pips is also quite significant most of the time.
Okay, I guess one of the reasons I like Infomorph better is in set he is a mutant in a set where you get to do lots of stuff with him being a mutant. Because I guess the good decks I see getting played are either Dav or often Torado. And then the card provides more value than just the 2 pips. As you know, and you hate my opinion here, is these cards where you just get some pips and at least these creatures are big enough to matter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think this is a really good card, actually.
I don't think it's a really good card. I think it's okay.
Okay.
I would agree. It's okay.
I don't know. I mean,
the enhanced hate will never end.
No, because there's that 3 damage pip dumpster fire from Shadows, and that card.
I agree.
bad.
I do not like that one. But this one, in effect, has already replaced itself as far as efficient goes, because it is a draw pip somewhere.
Maybe.
Well, maybe. Okay. I like it.
Well,
Yeah,
this card is fine.
Hold on. What power is Emberling? Is he 1 power or 2?
Yeah.
1 power? So,
he's 1.
It depends on whether there's an artifact in play if they didn't nerf it.
Let's just go into the assumption it's 1 power. It kills an Emberling sheep, so therefore it's basically crushing.
Or you're not playing against an Emberling deck, and it may not do anything of importance.
Or not. We don't know. Clone home, everyone. Clone home. It is an action. Play, make a token creature. If there are more friendly creatures than enemy creatures, archive clone home.
Damn right.
This one seems likely to occur.
Whoa.
Yeah, I like this a lot better, yeah.
This is where I'm living, guys. Like, this is the kind of token maker that I want. Like, this is the scenario that we talked about early on. Like, if I can get a deck, maybe 1 or 2 of these things are enhanced, give me like 3 or 4 of them with a Mars token. At this point, I'd actually rather have the Grunt token, so I can just stay there with these 3 power dudes that just keep coming at you. Like, answer what's happening somehow, some way, or just lose. I'm going to reap with 6 grunts every turn.
Fair enough. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'm a fan.
This token generator seems much better.
And if it gets enhanced, hot dog.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want.
Hopefully.
Where your draw pip has to show up. Or damage pips. I guess damage pip.
I mean, to be
like
honest with you, if Clone Home gets a draw pip, hot dog.
Now, I'd almost on a recycling one like this, if you're going to stay in house, wouldn't mind the damage pips.
Yeah, damage is fine. Like, this is the scenario where I create a win con out of the cards just from the limited amount of cards we've seen that do become real threats to decks that we know are really good. Like, this is decks that we have in the current meta at the top level are not designed to beat down armies and armies and armies of 3 power creatures every turn. Like, that's just not something that we're
It's one of those things that does beat them. It's like you play out your 5, 6 creatures, they clear the board with their board clear, and you go, oh, guess what? I drew into 5 or 6 more creatures.
Well, in this scenario, it's not even drawing it in. As soon as you're like...
You have it.
Like, make a token, archive, make a token, archive. Like, here we are.
Do it again. Yep. Okay, so we got Scoop Up, which is an...
Ember, every time you play it. Yay! Play, put a friendly non-Mars creature and an enemy non-Mars creature into your archives. If that enemy creature would leave your archives, return it to its owner's hand instead.
Zookeeper on an action.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
I want to say it's real good.
Well, it's at least above average, because if you have no non-Mars creatures, it's just purely good.
Right, it's purely just a Zookeeper at that point.
Yeah, but with the messy archives we're seeing, like Zookeeper and Collector Worm were good when you didn't have to ever draw your archives. This, you're putting your own cards in. So where this one is potentially best is when you don't have Mars as your token and you're able to archive that card that you need because it got turned into a token.
There you go. That's what I was just going to say. I need that Ember Control card. Swoop. There you go. You can have your whatever.
It's a little slow, but it does that. And then you get to put in their questionable play effect creature or their creature with upgrades. You get to I mean, like, bouncing creatures is almost always good to have anyways. So
here you go.
You actually you changed my mind on this card. I was actually not liking this until you made me think about the fact that my best card might be a token on the board. So you know what? Maybe I do like this one.
Well, also, we just talked about all the pips, right? Like, you're choosing which one you're archiving on your own line.
Yeah.
So, you're going to have pipped out creatures at some point in time in some decks. So, like, I think this is significantly above average card as far as, like, I love creature, like, I guess you can't target a Mars creature, so there is some conditions there. But other than the, like, not being able to target a Mars creature, you can target any creature you want, and it's just going to go away.
But we do have a card that can target Mars creatures. It's called Kaboom. It's a play action. Put each Mars creature into its owner's archives. Destroy each creature. Gain 3 chains. And I just
really
want
cool.
everybody to see he has a I don't even know what that is. A bandolier. There's the word I'm looking for. Of Mountain Dew.
Yes. You're right.
He has
It's
a bandolier
amazing.
of Mountain Dew.
I love this card so much.
This card is amazing.
I'm zooming. I'm enhancing.
Enhance.
It's all Mountain Dew, man. All Mountain Dew.
He's got like the Centurion.
I want to know where he got that helmet from, but
yeah. He took it off the Centurion and he's blowing it up.
He's like, I just found it. It's Mountain Dew.
I cannot confirm whether that is Mountain Dew or not.
He's blowing everything up.
About Mars.
He lives on the edge. He lives on the extreme. That's Mountain Dew.
Okay.
But he just gatewayed, but didn't lose all his own creatures.
This is what people who drink 4 2-liters of Mountain Dew do. They just gateway things.
Here's my favorite part about this card is that we've already seen a potential combo with this. Here's the combo. There's a card that we've already spoiled called Martian Revolution, which is destroy all of your own creatures and then make a token for each creature you destroyed. So let's say you have 8 dudes, you kill them all, you make 8 tokens. Then, if your token is Mars token, the combo means with this combo you actually have to have a Mars token. Then you play Kaboom. If you had the 8 creatures that we just referred to, you then archive 8 creatures from your own deck. Eight cards of unknown type from your own deck straight off the top, and then you kill all of their creatures.
That's amazing.
Mars. Like, that's just stupid. And that the Martian Revolution, that part of the combo is rare, but there will be decks, since this is a common, that have a Mars token, Martian Revolution, and Kaboom. And you better yell Kaboom when you do that, because that is hella cool.
I don't know if that's okay with the new tournament rules.
Well, saying the card name, you're supposed to enunciate your card name.
Okay.
You're just enunciating it louder.
I just want everybody to know that when all of a sudden they hear Kaboom!
And this is English language. There is an exclamation there. By not saying it louder, you're not reading the card correctly.
And if somehow I get a bone saw, everyone in the arena will hear a bone saw is ready.
Legacy Maverick Bone Saw? That would be amazing.
No.
If you pulled Legacy Maverick Bone Saw.
I would lose my mind. Legacy Maverick Bone Saw and a Legacy Narp. Oh.
So is the potential problem with this card though is that it's common and you might have 3 of them?
I mean, the same thing happened with Gateway, but in the end, if you're playing against these types of decks, I don't know if people are going to be complaining about it.
I don't know.
I don't know if it needed 3 chains though. 3 seems like a lot.
Oh gosh, no. Gateway
this
is
already better than Gateway. And Gateway is like
never mind. I'm going to go back to my corner. Stop beating me.
Yeah.
I'll go over here.
So this is
with you.
You need 3 copies of this because you know they're going to get turned into your stupid token creatures instead of end up in your hand.
Well, then you scoop them up.
Somehow.
That's a hope, except, we all want Mars tokens. Maybe. Blorbs.
Some Mars tokens.
Blorb.
Forever.
All right, General.
Hold on. Does this combo at all with Blorb? Did anybody figure this out yet?
No, it does not.
It does not combo at all with Blorb?
No, because that puts your Blorbs in your archive as whatever they were. Right. This does not. This the only combo I've seen so far is Revolution.
But what if there are 3 of my 3 cloned homes? And now I just make blorbs.
It kind of combos with the whatever Scout is now, because you just draw a bunch while you're doing it. Prospector, yeah. So there's a subtle combo with that. Because you're going to draw a bunch, then you can play more Mars that turn.
Where's the key abduction when you need it? Anyways,
yeah, Legacy key abduction for the auto win. Let's go.
I think you just win.
In set.
Yeah.
If it's in set, Mars is the best house in any set.
Was key abduction uncommon?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or was it rare? Okay, it was uncommon.
Uncommon, not limited.
Yeah.
All right. We are getting into the...
won't be?
We're getting into the twilight hour. Calm down, everybody. Calm down, Choke Show.
General Za Orha.
Yeah. Does anybody else get Clone Wars, like Attack of the Clone vibes off this picture?
From the I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Really, I just see bad watercolors or something.
All right. Anyways,
it's the display. It's like a holographic. Yeah.
4-power Getaruka. He has skirmish. Play for each forged key your opponent has. Make a token creature.
It's okay.
No,
sucks to draw it early.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's going to be sad. On average, it's going to give you 1. Sometimes it'll give you 2, and you're happy about that.
Equate this to Dr. Escatera. So whatever your thoughts on Dr. Escatera is basically this card's value.
So it sucks.
I think it also depends on your token too. Actually,
doesn't everything in this set?
Yes and no.
And yes.
Like this is decent for Blorb to finish the game for the Blorb fans out there.
It's true.
This is decent for not Berserker. Decent for Amberling.
Yeah.
This is talk about Gemcoat Vendor.
Yeah, I agree.
This is also one of the worst merchant cards we've seen. And for this to be among the bottom, which we've said this about the other one, like there's other one that was just okay. If this is the bottom of Merchant House, this is a really good place to be.
Yeah.
Because that's still better than almost every Saurian card we've talked about today.
Well, okay, that's fair. All right. Gemcoat Vendor. 6-power Getaruka. Action, steal 1. Deal 1 damage to Gemcoat Getaruka. Or Gemcoat Vendor.
So he's a timed disc creature. Or
he's very okay.
It's a Pit Fiend. Whatever you thought of Pit Fiend, this is what it is.
Yeah,
there's a Shadows creature that's the same thing.
Yes, there is.
Yancey Gang.
Yeah.
Thank you for being my brain, because I didn't bring it today.
Was Yancey Gang was fight though, wasn't it? But there was one.
No. It's literally the same card as Pit Fiend.
Yep,
Okay,
Dodger was fight. So this seems fine. Not
it's
special,
fine.
but fine.
It's
like
fine.
there is Cleansing Wave in set.
Steel's never bad, so like this is above average as part of the
action. He's a fatty.
It's action.
Yeah,
I don't like the action.
I mean, you're still getting the same Amber as a Reap.
Reap Steel 1.
Well, that would be way better.
Well, that's
asking too much.
Yep. All those have some kind of stupid penalty, even in Shadows.
This has a stupid penalty.
Not as big.
Deal 1 damage.
I would have settled for Reap Steel 1, deal 2 damage to him.
Sure.
Like if we're if you can still reprint cards, you could fix this for me.
I mean, we got to have some sort of upgrade that gives armor, right?
I mean, this is still better than all of the Saurian cards. So
right.
it's good.
Well, you are comparing it to the tallest pygmy, sir. Like, I mean, all right, Steward.
Here we go.
Stew. It's just stew.
It's not a get rookie. It's a
2-power human artisan. Enhanced 2 pips of ember. God. What? 2 pips of ember and a draw pip?
Heck
Who designed this set?
I love it.
I did. I designed this card. You didn't know?
Oh,
Steward Stew is my aunt.
Sue's name? Yeah, all
right.
Jeez.
Yeah, this card's flat out. Wait. Is Sheep gonna say it's bad? He didn't like it.
He can't.
He did it. Sheep did not like the Gloriana's Attendant.
I still dislike Gloriana's Attendant. This card is.
This thing is going to sit on the board and reap for 1 and put 2 more.
No,
it's not.
Why would it die?
Still gonna die.
To what? Who's attacking this?
Anything.
Win.
Yeah.
I am with
my damage pips I got in Mars.
the 2 damage pips from the Mars picture. This will most likely get murdered due to incidental damage, but it is significant that 1 damage pip cannot kill it. But 2 amber and a draw on a card that's enhanced at common is just lights out.
And especially, let's talk about the next card real quick, because this does matter right now. Hire On, which is the action that we've seen in every house, play, make a token creature. If there are a combined total or 6 or more between both players' pool, archive Hire On.
Combined total of 6 amber or more. You missed the amber part.
Did I? Oh, I thought I said amber. My apologies. But like, what are the chances that there's not 6 amber between the two of you?
Like, this is almost all the time. This is literally like the best version of this card.
And it can be in the same house as something that puts possibly 2 ember pips on it. Not likely, but possible.
It's a common. There will be one of them out there somewhere.
I do like that there's these triple enhanced commons, along with every house has these common self-archiving cards. Like there's been a lot of talk about comparing them to Portal, and we have seen some double and triple Portal decks can definitely make some fire.
I thought you meant like the Magic set. I was like, what are you talking about?
But there was always a problem with those Portal cards. There's 2 problems, actually. One, that means you're playing DT. So first of all, that's just a problem right there. Second of all, you're playing the Fish House in DT, which is like bad squared. So
that should be a T-shirt. Fish House equals bad squared.
I'm on it. I'm already. I got
Dark Tiny's Fish
squared.
House. B squared. Like, bad squared. And that's where you're at. Just bad to the second power. But in this case, we've already seen cards we're excited about. It, cards that are fun. Tons of pips that can hit other cards because there weren't actually that many pips to be had in Dark Tides anyway.
Yeah, that is true.
So
I'm hoping you're right that we see this combination. It makes me feel better about these.
Yeah, like these pips
commons
hitting the enhance, like the enhancements hitting the clone on Mars, the enhance hitting Hire On here, the enhance hitting the actually kind of like the it was if a creature fought, like the Brobnar one, like there's lots of like areas where you can have these huge boards that just keep building and building and building with these enhanced archiving engines. Because even at 2 or 3 of them, if any of them hit pips, like almost any pip at that point is real good, especially if it's draw or amber, right? But like, because there's a lot of draw pips coming now, I think we're going to see some hella exciting decks. Again, this is an algorithm-based game, so we are going, like, the potential is always there. It's whether we see them. To make sure it happens, we need lots and lots of decks.
Question.
So people buy tons of woe. Just do it.
Yeah, do it.
And sell the best ones to us.
Still a question. So, we're seeing these cards that enhance other cards, right? And we're seeing one in every house. Do you like that mechanic more where the pip can be kind of wherever, right? You leave it up to the Archons, right? And you just kind of hope. Do you like that more than having more printed Ember just like on a card?
MM is my favorite set by far, and I think the pips aren't all of it. They're definitely not the entire reason. Because I like the big creature idea, I like the Sindai, there's a lot of fun stuff going on there. And the more we see of that kind of mechanic, especially with this Archon, like just this specific card and the other one being in all of the houses, excite me a lot.
Like that level of variance or no?
Yeah.
Yes, like that's Keyforge. I love that. Yeah, like that is being surprised in sealed. Like I love to play, like, because we didn't get to play a lot of actual sealed MM, right? Because
you mean none?
Shut the frick down. But like at the stores of the local, like we personally bought like enough packs to open and play here at my house. That was always like among the most fun iterations of Keyforge I played, whether they're playing that Ultra Gravitron that you didn't even know about, or they play that pipped out recurring Relentless Creeper. Like those were really, really exciting times. And like this, and that's another thing that's about our game. Like other games cannot do that. Like it doesn't exist. It can't exist in Magic. Like, so we need, like, I think they should double down on this stuff that like literally cannot be replicated at this moment in time.
Taking more
by
pips,
any other,
taking more
by any other deck in the
cards
world
and putting them on cards that just randomly generate it.
For sure.
I'm
I mean,
torn
I think
on it.
Everybody knows. I think like everybody could probably say for all the decks they have, like what is the coolest pipped out card that they have. It doesn't even matter how good the rest of the deck is, right? They're like, that one card is super cool. Like you guys can all say what that is, probably, right?
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a double draw QMX. I've seen a draw Amber Rad Penny, and like those are really cool. Yeah. Like I think they should double down on the whole concept. I think there should be a enhancement for power. I think there should be an enhancement for armor that like places those in things in your deck. Yeah. Like that would be really fun.
Brews.
Yeah, like the brew should have been something like that instead of like if you had the mega whatever, that means something in your deck is just 2 power stronger instead of like
you just get the brewer and he makes random creatures stronger.
Yeah, that would have been super cool.
Yeah,
like
I know the one I have that I always think about sometimes is I have a Legacy Mab the Mad with 2 draw pips on her, so I call her Time Traveler the Mab.
That's cool,
which is really fun.
Or like early on in MM, someone had posted the deck that had a Resurgence in the Key Frog with 2 damage pips on it. Like that was early on. I remember that on Facebook, and we're all like, "Is this real?" Like that was amazing. Like because like that's a set that doesn't have real Kichis, right? Like nothing that fires from hand, and then you get this freaking Key Frog that does what it does. Then someone else later posted the Nipple Ape that had 2 draw and it had Troop Call. Like
nice.
Like that's like there's just so many fun things that can happen with this that you wouldn't even think of by design. They just happen.
Right. I'm super torn.
Capture pits on Gateway. Woo woo.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
Yeah. I have seen the other side. I have seen a double capture EP. Like it's sucks. Like it's there.
I'm super torn on it being somebody who does enjoy tournament play and high level play. Like that high level of variance leads to so much unknown that it becomes really hard to do that high level play. But as far as like the fun aspect of it, it's blast.
Well, but like I don't know, it just depends on what high level you're talking about. Like both Draz and me have made a lot of our success in sealed high level play, and it's always that variance and surprise. It's like learning to deal with it as you come. It is very different in Archon. I am torn as I get what you're saying as far as like on the Archon environment. Since we never really had FFG sponsored events during the time of MM or after, we never really got like an official, is it okay just not knowing the pips, right? The FFG never got real feedback from anyone because they, quit on us. I do see a good use case as far as like real Archon, like
especially
should you just
my main focus
should you just be handing your deck over and letting them look at it? Like I think
my main focus is Alliance too, right? Because like this now puts high value on like certain cards with pips and yada yada, and like that's.
I think at the end of the day, you should just be handing your deck to your opponent.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But I'm saying the
on
big
the Archon
thing,
card,
the big thing is like it puts certain value on certain cards. Like when we talked about Mavericks and things like that, like it puts a higher value on some of those things. I don't know. Like it just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. We're going to have to see how Alliance shakes out. Or as Dan calls it, not real Keyforge.
No.
I think it's a fun for those that are going to play it.
It is. But let's get back to we got 2 left.
Can I make a quick safety announcement?
No.
Did you fart?
No. I can do that for you if you like. But quick safety announcement. So X-Ray did ping me saying, "Hey, triple pip Fangtooth Cavern. That's cool. X-Ray, you are driving all the way to Minnesota right now. Don't be texting me during the podcast while you're driving, dude."
He pulled over.
Keep your hands on the wheel.
He pulled over. He's at a gas station right now.
Gas station?
Yeah.
Man, X-Ray, you have to pick me up tomorrow at the airport after I fall asleep and then drive to the airport and then take the plane and then land. You have to pick me up. So don't crash while you're texting while you're this ridiculously long drive.
Right, we have 2 more cards, guys.
Let's get to another Star Wars reference, kinda, the Visible Hand. We are back into the Traders, or otherwise known as the Compacts of Equidon. Make 2 token creatures. Reveal your hand to your opponent. That's a reference to the Invisible Hand, which was a ship in Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Which is the economics reference?
It also is an economics reference, yes.
Okay. Continue.
I like Star
I think
Wars
it's economic, right? The Equidon traders. All right, go ahead.
It is, but I like the Star Wars reference. But anyway.
Oh, sorry.
Play, make 2 token creatures, show your opponent your hand.
All right, you're playing this as your last card. This is basically no real penalty, in my opinion. This is just straight up amazing. I'm going to play a card from hand and make 2 creatures.
Dumping your hand is slim to none, sir. So, well,
but you're choosing when you're playing this.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not saying there's not cards left in your hand.
How many times are you dumping your hand traditionally?
I didn't say that.
You did too. You just said that.
No, I said you're going to play this as... I'm sorry. I did say your last card. I didn't mean the last card in your hand.
Oh,
You'll play this as the last card you play that turn, and they will probably look at 1, 2, 3 cards from your hand. Probably in the majority of gameplay. Did you say probably 4?
Probably 4.
No.
In my case. Probably
Hopefully
4.
not.
Yeah. Because
you a Joker, but
Wookiee's always playing the 2/2/2.
Because 2/2/2s are
we have
real.
this whole cast on how to get out of 2/2/2s. You might want to listen to.
You know what? I did, and I tried, and it just, unless I'm playing Joel LaPasta, it doesn't matter. Like, okay. Oh, did you just play 2 Shadows cards? Here's 2 new ones. It's like, what? No.
All right.
There's only 1 left in the deck, but you drew 2 anyways.
I still drew 2. What?
Either way, you should not be showing them more than 3 cards in 99% of cases. So, I think this is a really good token for what I want to see happen in this set. Whether this actually ends up yielding wins, I can't say yet because I haven't played it. But this is the type of card that I wanted to see. We talked about wanting to see. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's definitely situations where you might not be able to play this card, though. Like, if you're playing against a strong control, the weak deck, you might not be able to afford to show them your hand.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be showing them more than 3 cards. So, no matter what, there's going to be 3 cards they won't see.
No, this card definitely gets the draw pip every time.
I mean, I like it. I see it getting played plenty.
Yeah.
That is actually a funny use case of negative value. If you got a draw card here.
It's got 2 draw pips somehow. There's only 1.
Yeah, obviously you're not playing it on play first turn of the game. That would be real bad.
But I mean, first turn, that's probably the best turn to play it if it's got draw pips. Who cares? See my hand.
Yep. See my hand. You know what I'm playing next turn anyways.
Yeah.
Stop it. That's all you can do.
You know, you can't play your turn 1 Dust Witch or your turn 2 Dust Witch because I got an answer.
Yeah.
Or they go, oh, you don't have an answer to a Dust Witch early. I'll just play this. It's my whole turn, but you can't answer it.
It's true. So we all kind of agree average to above average?
Should be fine.
Should be fine.
I think I'm putting it at exactly average until I know.
Exactly average?
Yep.
Fair enough.
For the set.
Auction off. Something tells... I feel like we've seen this card before.
Close. We've seen a better version.
Have we? Okay, so it's a Pip of Ember every time you play it. Action play, purge an artifact. Its controller gains 1 Ember.
This is really, really close to an Untamed card. Wookie, do you know the card?
I don't. Do I?
Oh my god.
Well, Reclaimed by Nature.
Yes, I was going to say Reclaimed by Nature. I just like shit. That's my.
It's not as good as Reclaimed by Nature, but Reclaimed by Nature, in my opinion, is one of the best cards in the whole damn game. So it's still really, really good.
I mean, it's not as good, but number 1, Hard R is.
Oh yeah.
Always
Hard R on common again. On common. In a house we think we're gonna want.
And worst case scenario, this card reads play, gain 1 Ember. Even if they have 0 artifacts, you play it to gain an Ember.
That is not the worst case, actually.
Yeah.
There will be scenarios where you have to discard.
Never mind. Yeah, because it does say basically, never mind. There's a period.
You can't purge your Blorb Hive, right? You don't want to do that, right?
Maybe I do.
Because it is uncommon, just like Reclaim. I've seen people have to discard their Reclaimed. People will, on occasion, have to discard this.
I just read it again, and yes, you might not want, because it's not purge an artifact. If you do, its controller gains 1. It's purge an artifact. Period. It's controller. Oh no, it says it's controller. So if I don't purge 1, they don't gain 1, right?
Right.
So I'm saying is it doesn't give no matter what, you have to purge an artifact if you play it.
Oh yeah.
If your opponent doesn't have artifacts. This is a set we've seen so far. Most of the artifacts you're not going to want to purge of your own. So like there's not a lot, like I don't think we've seen any artifacts that are just straight up suck. So you're often not going to want to purge your own artifacts.
That was AOA.
Junk
artifacts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sanctum always has bad artifacts, so if you have Sanctum, you can probably purge something.
Yeah. Or hopefully you get Oath of Poverty though, and you just sell them all.
If Oath of Poverty isn't set.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I think you have big hopes.
But
anyway, that's gonna do it for us this week. We got through them all. Definitely went over our time once again, because that's what we do.
Don't have a time. You make this up every week.
We have an hour.
What if we not gone over our time?
Lately, it's been a while.
Where's the law that says we have an hour?
There's no law.
Where's
in
this
Wookiee's head?
There's no rule book, Wookiee. There are no laws.
Should we rank the houses based on what we know right now?
I can rank them right now. I've done it in several places.
So, who wants to go first then? Are we going from best to worst, or who do we got at the bottom? Who's at the bare bottom? Just do not want to see at all whatsoever.
I think Saurian,
like significantly down there.
Yep, that's my vote.
Sheep.
I'm agreeing.
Like who's the houses? Like if we see them in Seal, I guess it doesn't matter anymore because we're playing Alliance. Yeah, I agree. Saurian. Who's next? Who's next up?
I'd say Sanctum.
Yep.
I was gonna say it's either Sanctum or Fish. I don't know. That's like
I can't choose Fish anymore.
Fish got a bump today. Yeah,
they did get a bump.
Fish got a very significant bump. They have the best, the second best, like enhancer dude, and that card on common that you look at their hand, like Lateral Shift is the best card ever printed in this game, and that is fairly close. Like it's there and it's uncommon. It's real good. So I gotta go Sanctum as second worst.
Sanctum was down there for me. Who's above Sanctum?
So here's where, do you go?
I haven't fallen in love with Star Alliance yet.
I haven't either.
Yeah, makes me sad. I like Star Alliance so much though.
Star Alliance does have the
lumping Fish.
Amberline Star Alliance.
Yeah,
but
true.
Like, what does Star Alliance really have other than their tokens?
Okay, are we talking like potential to make our dream Archon or Alliance deck, or are we talking about getting this junk and sealed?
Both.
I'm thinking about getting this junk and sealed right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and a lot and Star Alliance. Well, no, they're very different.
They're very different.
They are.
Yeah.
This does not feel very Star Alliance.
Unless Amberline was entirely nerfed from the last time we've seen it.
No.
Amberline is a game-winning token.
But you're now in Star Alliance, which, I mean, I don't know.
It's enough.
That's enough?
That token is enough. Because 1/28 of the deck, one out of 28 decks will have Amberline.
So Fish are next then for you?
I think I still have to put Fish next.
Okay. And then Star Alliance?
I have Star Alliance and Brobnar tied.
Okay.
I'll put Brobnar ahead of Star Alliance.
If the Amberline was nerfed at all, Star Alliance would be next.
Okay.
And then Brobnar above.
So best house, I think we're all agreeing. Compact.
Well, we skip. Well, second to best house, that means by default is Mars, which is a hell of an improvement.
Yeah, way better. Way better.
Yeah, I think Mars literally has almost everything. We haven't seen Artifact Control and Let's Destroy Them All reprinted. We haven't seen or EMP Blast if either of those get reprinted.
We saw Destroy Them All is reprinted.
Did we?
Yeah.
Wow.
Destroy Them All's there.
We think it's reprinted. It was their test, it was their first test prints where they didn't have the artwork done.
Video. Yeah.
Arcana does have them as from that video. It has a Destroy Them All. So with that said, we've seen really good creature control. Probably the best creature control we've ever seen. Because we have Ammonia Cloud, Genetic Blast, and new Uber Board Wipe. Destroy Them All is artifact control at uncommon. Really good artifact control. It's got a ton of Amber control with the new commons, and it floods the board with tokens more than any of the other houses we've seen. So I do have Mars at a really high second place.
I hope you get a Mars deck with 3 of their new board wipes and 3 Ammonia Clouds.
Wait, Ammonia Clouds being reprinted?
Well, we think so.
No. Why are we fucking up a good thing? Ammonia clouds, really?
That's good in this set. All these tokens?
Not phosphorus stars. Not that pile of garbage.
Deal 3 damage to each creature is ammonia clouds.
I was always fine with ammonia clouds. Phosphorus stars is horrible.
Phosphorus stars is horrible. That's part of why my reversal deck is so reversally.
And then at the top we have the Merchant's House because it's got some of the newest effects that are really cool, and even its worst card is better than all Saurian cards.
Yep, so, it's got some F, it's got some A, and now it's got the R. Like, it's got all the stuff in it.
I think we don't see much C there other than the really weird board wipe.
Yeah,
the mass buyout.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a Shadows logo submerge, and that's amazing.
It has the weird C where it can play your opponent's creatures and take your opponent's creature from board, so it can potentially deal with the stuff that really matters. Potentially. It is interesting where it's going to be. Like, I still, from the cards we have seen, the efficiency in this set looks spotty, like some drop pips. Not a lot of other great efficiency cards yet, and with the fact that a third of your deck's going to get turned into tokens each game, I do have some concerns for combo-y decks, or even when you have a good deck and your big Amber control is my one interdimensional graph, but I have a ton of F or whatever to get to it, this could have a good A card. You could have your one big A card that saves you, but in this set, it could be hard to get to, and
we don't even know if
randomly token it.
But you say big A card at the moment, we don't even know if that's a thing. Like,
well, right now
we've only seen one.
Yeah, our best big A card maybe is Tall-Minded.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't even count traditionally. Like, that's uncommon. So you expect to have more than one of those most of the time if you're like that's your competitive deck. The biggest A card we've seen, the only scaling Amber control we've seen is Closed Door Negotiation, and if you play that at the wrong time, you're going to win them the game because they're going to draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah. So it is just a little concern I have. It'll be fun to see how this plays and see where it goes, but I wonder if this is going to it's just going to be chunky, right? And then if you happen to token the wrong card, you're just going to lose games because you have no way to get back around to it because there is not, as seen, a ton of archiving or drawing or anything to hide and save things.
Other than the strange shell token, which allows you to put your tokens in your hand. I think the biggest thing we haven't talked about yet is we've seen a lot of pips. We have a lot of random cards hitting the board that is like wild wormholding things into play. The only major issue I've seen right now out of the gate without playing any of this is most of these mechanics that we're talking about, like this random cards hitting the board, makes Infernus better.
Mm-hmm.
Infernus is already like the king of the meta. It's been that way ever since it came out in Worlds Collide. That's why immediately, as soon as the Worlds Collide came out, it won the next Archon Vault we had.
Yeah, Infernus
and that was busted. And there was, I think there was 2 or 3 Infernuses in the deck, and there was Asteria and Exhumes. Like, Infernus came out swinging, and it's not stopped swinging for the last year and a half.
Infernus does feel like playing against bait and switch decks. It's like just when's it coming? Like, it's there.
Yeah,
it's just when does it come?
Well, and in some decks it just doesn't stop coming weekly. We know this to be true. Like, I own 2 of them. Nova owns another one. Like, there's a bunch of decks out there. They're going to play Infernus. I don't know, 7, 8, 9 times. Like, it's going to happen.
Ban Infernus.
Do not do that.
Hashtag
you
ban
want
Infernus.
To go the other thing. No.
Yeah.
You can't say to unnerf bait and then nerf other things. You're just
bait's going to happen once, maybe twice a game.
Coming from Wookie, who's like, I bought 1,000 coded decks and 20 decks, and 50 Worlds Collide.
Listen,
so it's yes, Bait and switch back, ban MM.
Nothing should be banned. Nothing should be nerfed. Just let it go.
Calm down over there. I have bought in 6 boxes of every set except for AOA. Of which I bought 10.
But that's my only concern here. The way the set is played, perceivably from what I'm seeing, does increase the value of what is already one of the best cards in the game at common.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll see an artifact or something that says your cards cannot be purged.
You're just Who knows? Specifically against him.
Could.
I believe it was called Eaton's Jar.
It's an anomaly, so they can be in all houses.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I am tired of the Infernus meta, and it needs to go away. Ever since Infernus came out, like you guys said, it has dominated the meta. Yeah. And now Dis is gone, which makes me fear a little bit for this set that we don't have that Infernus is still floating around. Because it's I'm just going to keep playing these Infernus decks because you've given me no reason not to.
Well, we
don't have a card that specifically either combats Infernus or makes Infernus worse to the point where it's not a viable card.
We have more cards that we're seeing that generate Amber without
being
pips.
Yeah.
That's happening, but we're also seeing cards that are generating pips. But that's not the issue that I'm talking about. The issue that Infernus being good is because you are putting your creatures in the field you're putting your cards in the field as tokens blind. So your best cards in deck, you can't play around them hitting the board because you're gonna make tokens.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you can
it's tokens die, and then your best card gets purged, and all it ever was
because the
power.
Infernus meta isn't only about the Ember control; it's more about getting rid of a card that I'm just no longer allowed to play.
That is the more powerful thing in Infernus. It's not actually the pip thing. The best decks that are run by the best players,
the best players aren't just targeting your cards because they have pips on it. They are targeting your cards because they know you're going to loop. And if you no longer have those, your deck becomes basically one-legged, and now it becomes a one-legged race. And
they're counting on you not. Yeah,
it becomes a race, and now you only have one leg. So
because they're counting on you not being able to beat them on cycle 1, and if they know you can't beat them in cycle 1, they are planning for your second cycle to suck beyond anything imaginable, and that is very achievable if Infernus is played at the highest level.
Even from the Ember control perspective, I'm not seeing a lot of key cheats here.
You mean 0? Besides Blorb Hive?
We have not seen a key cheat from Panda as an action or creature.
Or
I think
even
we
some
saw
wonky
Epic.
something.
Isn't Epic Quest in the list? Did we see that was coming?
I said action or creature. I don't know if Epic Quest is in
I don't think we know.
I feel like
Epic
somebody
Quest is coming.
said that, but I don't see the card listed on Arcana.
I do not believe
it's just wishful thinking.
Might be.
Well, Epic Quest in this set could get real busted if your token's a knight.
Oh yeah,
I do not think just like Key Abduction. I do not think we're seeing Epic Quest.
I don't think we're seeing Epic Quest.
So hope for the legacy. But I think that's
hope for the legacy.
I think that's my final thoughts. I think overall the set's gonna be super fun. Lots of good stuff. My only real worry is the Infernus meta. It's not gonna go away.
I was gonna say nothing in this set made Infernus go bye-bye. And nothing was better than Infernus.
I mean, it made it better. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying nothing was conceivably better than Infernus. There's no new meta what's better than Infernus.
Well, so what does potentially beat Infernus and some Infernus decks out there is high pressure reaping. Because if I'm reaping for my Amber and I'm not really putting cards in my discard, it doesn't matter, right? That's how you often beat Infernus decks is by reaping Amber that they can't purge.
The clone army I mentioned earlier and the ridiculous hire now or hire more play Merchant House every turn. So that beats Infernus.
Flood board.
Yeah.
And high efficiency.
Yep. Well,
like at that point, you don't really need high, like the clone army thing. You don't need high efficiency. Like you just need the 3 cards to appear, establish board, and then you just go to that every single turn.
But does
that happen? But can you do that? Because that happens once and Furnace Purge done.
They can't purge it. It's going to your archive.
Oh, that's true.
But
like they would have to purge out your entire deck for you not to keep creating tokens.
That's not necessarily true because there's also I make my other cards into tokens and then they die and then they do get purged, right? Where you're saying that's what Infernus can do here. That's my problem. Like we see these dreamscapes where if I could get 3 of these cards and I constantly play them, but this set, from what we've seen, doesn't give you a lot of tools to handcraft with. Outside of like classic, I just sit on this card.
Well, that's why I was talking about Mars. Mars has the ability to archive the tokens with the board wipe. If you're using it as an archive mechanic and not just the board wipe. Like Mars is the only one that I've legitimately seen. Like I can create a bunch of
you can set up
possible scenarios where it's really hard to stop this from happening because they have the board wipe on the one side. They can archive their own tokens but you have to have a Mars token in the scenario. You can create a lot of fun things out of Mars. That would be real hard for like an Infernus-based deck to stop because honestly, most of those Infernus decks don't actually have a lot of they normally don't have the TMTP to pair with it. It's just generally a lot of I'm just going to burn you. If you're reaping every turn like that, you will.
Yeah, then they're burning themselves to keep you off key, and then you're often in a very, very good position.
Yes, especially if you get to the scenario where you just have you just are calling your archive, playing more tokens, and reaping every turn.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have to save judgment for this weekend.
2 days.
2 days. Then 48 hours, right? We're talking.
We will be near the end of the event hours. This time on Friday.
I'm looking forward to not being a part of it. I mean, I'm gonna be there, but I'm not gonna do very well. So,
I
will go Classic Z 4-2.
Which means you're out.
Yeah, which means I'm out. So, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I look forward to having some fun.
The first day is sealed.
Yeah.
I look forward to done really well on sealed.
Look, I look forward to having a ton of fun. I look forward to getting some Unchained decks. I look forward to the Drazcore experience. I look forward to seeing all you guys again. It's going to be a ton of fun. Keyforge is back. I mean, we're here finally.
Yay!
6 months ago, think about that. 6 months ago, we didn't know if this. Well, maybe I don't know how long it was ago, but let's just say a year ago then, because a year ago I can definitely say we didn't know if this game was alive or dead. We were right off the heels of Live. We knew there was still a very strong player base for it, but we had no idea what was in store for this game. And here we are. We are traveling to another large-scale event, this time with a new company, to go play Keyforge.
Yay, Keyforge.
Super excited. Super excited.
All right, but we got to go to bed. So
we do have to go to bed so Sheep can get up and go to work tomorrow.
So I can then go and play Keyforge.
I am not going to work. However, I do have to take my kids to school tomorrow. So,
and
I have running around.
Make sure, and get a sleep, get on that plane, fly out there.
Yep, and X-Ray is going to pick you up.
He is. He's on his way now. Just hilarious.
Just the fact that he's driving is just, I'm sorry, that's so funny.
Leave a full day early to pick me up from the airport.
Just to get you.
I told them that if he wanted to drive here, I'd hold his hand on the airplane all the way to Minneapolis, but guess that wasn't, he didn't really feel that.
Oh my God. I could just imagine that. I'd need that live streamed somewhere, somehow. Just him cold death gripping your hand all the way.
All right. Good night,
that's
guys.
Gonna do it for this. That is going to do it for us this week. Thank you all for listening. We'll see y'all next time.
Happy fortune, everyone.